Blessings, everyone. Mary, Bridget, I don't know who here. Wanting to speak on what's going through at the moment. The crystalline breath of freedom. It feels as good as it sounds as good as it feels. The crystalline breath of freedom that is coming, that is here, that we are all feeling. People use the word Holy Spirit, right? It feels more personal than that. It feels more, it's within the body. This is something that's been returned, belonging to the body of humanity, that has been returned to the body of humanity. So wanting to speak to that, I think of even that word, the Holy Spirit, that term, the Holy Spirit, has been something that truly has been captured as something that's been gifted or taken away, or it belongs to different religions or whatever. The crystalline breath of freedom cannot be withheld from anybody. There is no pathway to get to it. It is the breath of the Immaculate Womb of the Great Mother. It is the breath of the womb. It is our first breath. Our first breath is within the womb, of course. And our breath is symbiotic. If we are within the womb at all times, which we are in a sacred containment. And if the breath is symbiotic within the womb, which it is, which means that as we breathe with our mother, we become a part of her, and she becomes a part of us. There's no way around that. So whatever breath we receive, we are part of that, of which it comes from, the source of which it comes from. And we are remembered into the one breath on every single breath. This is the whole point of the one breath, to be remembered into the one breath, to be remembered into the one consciousness, and to have this streaming, living breath, streaming, living consciousness flowing through us at all times, so that we never are able to keep ourselves outside of the one breath. To be outside of the one breath, to be outside of the womb, to be outside of the immaculate breath of the womb, is to be outside of grace. It's to place yourself outside of sacred holding, outside of the symphony, outside of that harmonic holding, which is gifted to us by being a child of the Immaculate Mother. So, just want to speak to a moment of the different, if you think of all the different religions that are centered around a sacred breath being of a father outside of light, and this breath can be given and taken away from us, and it's used as a punishment. Almost, it's like we may be cursed to damnation, or we may be saved based on what this breath decides, what this Holy Spirit decides. Every religion has had their version of that, their version of this breath of duality that can save you or damn you. That's not what this is. This is the true breath, our first breath, the breath of the Immaculate Mother. And the Father of the Immaculate Mother is the Son within the heart, the Son within the body of the womb. There is no Father outside of the womb. Even the Father gets to be held within grace. Imagine that. When we think of all those religions created such a separation of all elements. So everyone is held within grace. Everyone is held within, all elements are held within the grace of the womb, the crystalline songlines of Mother. And that is what the womb is. It is crystalline songlines, harmonic holding of humanity, of the universe, of all that there is. And it is ever expanding, of course. It is patterned in the pattern of a rose, so that it is ever expanding to always be able to give new life, new breath, new avenues of breath, new word, new to constant multiplication and constant reproduction. That is what life seeks to do. There's just somebody fixing a fence outside my back garden. Hopefully that's not too loud, that you can hear that hammering. Okay, so we are returning to this, or this crystalline breath of freedom is returning to us. We are already in receipt of this, of course, but it is clearing up. All of the different clearings that we are doing are making way, are opening the crystalline pathways, the song lines of earth, the song lines of our body, our crystal, our bones, the bones of the earth, the stones of the earth are being cleared and being made way to receive this. Every stone on earth, every stone within the body of this earth right here is a receiver of song. Every stone is a receiver of song and an emanator of song. And we have our stones in here and in the earth have been hammered with, and other planets, hammered with false song, dividing songs, conquering songs. So all of those fractures of consciousness, those contracts of breath within ourselves that keep us outside of grace, that keep us in chaos, keep us in fractures, keep us sabotaging ourselves and looping and seeking what is not our allowance, seeking what is not ours to take. Those songs, those frequency imprints in the stone and the crystal of us are being relieved from us, because that is what keeps us in division constantly. And the song of belonging, our first song, our first breath, is coming to bring all stone to the one song. Stone, the crystal hearts, the bones of our body. We will feel this in our bones, and we're feeling it in the bones of the earth, the stones and the bones. Okay. This is the immaculate breath of freedom, of clarity, crystalline clarity. It is the breath of grace. It is the only breath that coheses all into one. Because we are all within the womb. So even as we have held ourselves in contention within the womb and held ourselves in different religions, different stories, whatever, different frequencies, we have wrapped around ourselves and cocooned ourselves, maybe with in a subgroup or on our own sometimes, especially with a lot of this alternative news. I've witnessed this in people. It creates a kind of a false cocoon around them, like they feel like they're protecting themselves from these threats that's been spoken about on these alternative news, but they're actually taking themselves out of the mother's protection, out of the protection of grace, and they're placing themselves in a separate cocoon, in a fracture. I've seen it. I can literally see it around people. And they're trying to survive within this little piece, this little cocoon, making themselves smaller and smaller, wrapping themselves up tighter and tighter. So, and then there are subgroups doing that also, like groups of belief, people who come together and hold a consensus, agree upon a consensus, agree upon a belief system, and hold themselves to that and belong to each other as long as they hold the same consensus. These are subgroups inside the womb, but outside of grace, holding themselves in disharmony, holding themselves outside of the what can be gifted to them through the breath of truth, through the belonging of the one symphony. Any imbalance of breath, any contract of breath is a contract of consciousness. It's an imbalance in the consciousness. It is somewhere where force, power over, was imprinted into the consciousness, into the sacred breath of one humanity. And something was taken from somewhere where it doesn't belong. Something was imposed where it does not belong. Belief systems, that play out into wars and violence and occupations and things like that. But the beginning of all of those things is a song. It's the song that your body sings to you. It is a song that sings your dreams to you. It is your song that sings your inner voice to you, and the song that sings your intuition to you. The beginning of everything we do is our body's song. This is why the stones and the crystals within the body and the earth have been so attacked with false sound, to make us, to program us to war against ourselves internally and war against each other, and fracture the one breath, the one consciousness, the one song of humanity. So the name I've been asked to share, and she would like her name spoken when I speak of this, the mother of all, the breath of the womb, the breath of the womb of the mother of all, the breath of the womb of the Immaculate Mother coming to us to be infused within us, so our bones and the bones of the earth may remember her and may remember our freedom. Then her name is Eiru. I've been asked to share the word name Eiru because she would like to be called. She would like to be called in. She would like to be called. She would like to be offered the honor and the call of invitation. So what came to me last night is that center point in Uisneach, which has been coming for some time, but actually witnessing this like plunging arrival, almost like white lightning plunging arrival into the earth there, spreading through the song lines, like ice crystals, just at the speed of lightning, and singing the one song, the one breath, the immaculate song of freedom and truth through the earth and through our bodies. So essentially it's about remembering who we belong to. When we choose our breath, we are choosing who we belong to, or what we belong to. If we choose to have a breath, a consciousness, a belief system that keeps us separate from our innocence, from our purity, we become of that system, we become of that way, we become more identified with that system, whether that be that system of domination, that system of power over, which also includes us being more identified with being a victim, and in always in some kind of offense or defense. When we will come to this, and we are coming to this, when we come to the understanding that we belong within the womb of the Great Mother, the Immaculate Womb, the Crystalline Song Womb, when we come to that knowing, our breath becomes of absolute balance, because it's crystal clear. There is no contract. There is up and down, in and out, instant cause and effect, instant cause and consequence, aligned intention and action. There's no imbalance. This is the balancing breath of the womb of the Great Mother, restoring her children to balance, to truth, the balancing breath of truth, crystalline breath. So there are places on earth where this is, we can receive this breath and can spread this breath, and we are conduits of this breath, of course, but I was just shown Uisneach is going to be a place where we call for her and she comes. I was shown this. Her ignition, the ignition of her breath, is the sun, the golden sun. We call that the Father of creation. We call that the Son of creation. It's the same. It's one and the same, right? And that is within the heart. And it is remembered then that that light, that ignition follows the song. That light, that ignition follows the song of the body. We are being brought back into listening to our intuition, listening to our dreams, our intuitions, our visions, listening so tenderly to our body and returning the hormones of our body back to a balanced state, a state of regeneration and life and replenishment. We are removing our hormones from the war machine. We are no longer allowing our bodies to be a war machine of aggressive offense and defense hormones, this rising adrenaline and cortisol and all of these hormones to do with survival and defense and offense. Our bodies no longer would like to be chemical war machines, essentially. So we are returning to the hormones of birth, the hormones of unfolding, the hormones of love and opening and joy and expansion and regeneration and replenishment and radiance. We cannot be in contraction and radiance at the same time. We cannot be in defense and expansion at the same time. So we are choosing. It is so important to choose a story that will hold your body together. Choose a story that will inform your consciousness and choose a story that will hold your body together. Any story based on your fracture, your smallness, your deflation, or on the other side of that coin, your inflation, what you demand, how much better you are, or anything, or what you deserve. The two sides, inflation or deflation, there's always creates a deficit, always creates an imbalance that has to be, everyone has to feel their own imbalance. As the womb has made herself immaculate, this was done by many of us, of course. We have all done this together. We have created this immaculate womb. As the womb has made herself immaculate, she has removed the shadows from the womb, which essentially shadows just means the hiding places, the places of absorbing lies. So no lies are being absorbed into the womb anymore of Great Mother, and we are all within the womb of Great Mother. No lies are being absorbed into into her song anymore. And she is a song. This is a song. The womb is a song that holds us, right? No lies are being absorbed by her anymore. None of that deficit is being absorbed by her anymore. And we're seeing this with Mother Earth. This is like, it's a cosmic womb. It's the Mother Earth's womb. It's our own women's wombs. And everyone's body is a womb, is a holding. It's a song, holding, right? But the women in our attunement, in our direct channel, have created this immaculate womb, just as we had held the shadow womb in place. we are now holding the immaculate womb in place. So if we think of all the religions and, as I said, those words of the Holy Spirit and the breath of duality that can save you or damn you, and the fracture that is caused within humanity who belong to different religions, different tribes, different and even within our own place, holding ourselves in our own cocoon of fracture. All of that, from this correction, every single person will be brought back to remembering that their only power is what they were, what rises within. Their light is the light of their heart. Their trajectory is the direction of the heart. Their allowance, their channel is of their lineage. And we are being returned to a perfect instrument, everyone a strand of crystal, to be within the symphony of the Mother's holding. And in that, everyone's lineage is being brought into that perfection, into that crystal clarity, so that everyone standing here can be the song and the light and hold the trajectory of the light and the pure light and the pure song of their lineage. So we will be beacons of living light and living song within the allowance of our own lineage. We are not stealing, and we are not claiming and catching and capturing from others. We are not contacting others into agreements and consensus, and we are not inflating ourselves from other people's breath. We are not deflating ourselves to pump somebody else up. We are not deflating ourselves to pump up a system. We are not inflating ourselves to be at the top of a system, right? This is the time of the balancing breath of truth, of wholeness. So in this, the lid has been lifted. The lid is off. The volcanoes are erupting. The lid is off. And please let that be just etheric volcanoes if possible. We don't need physical chaos right now. So let this be with ease and grace and minimal upheaval to humanity. But the lid is lifted. Freedom comes. Freedom rises. Freedom rises. Power rises. We are being brought to the memory that our power is primordial. There is no power over. The only power over us is that which we agree to. The only power over us is that which we agree to. All power is primordial. All power rises from the earth. And Eiru, the great mother of the crystalline breath of freedom, is inhaling her purest light, her purest sound, ignited by the light of the sun within her, to infuse our earth and our bodies with that knowing, with that pure knowing, so that we cannot be torn asunder again, right? And this is a connecting breath, and we are connected in this one breath. So that is a holding. We will be holding each other together in the compassionate sensitivity of feeling everything that we inflict. Everything that we inflict, we will feel instantly. And that works the other way, of course. Everything we give with love and grace and kindness and tenderness and in truth returns to us. This is a time of multiplication. This, within this paradigm, allows for multiplication. Let me rephrase that. Within this paradigm, multiplication is inevitable. It is your only way of expansion. Within the immaculate womb of the Great Mother, where the breath is balanced, where wholeness is taken into consideration, where there is no hidden intentions, where there is no subversion and no deviation from the truth, all you will have is the multiplication of yourself. And you multiply through breath. You multiply through breath. So that's a big one. All you will have is multiplication of yourself. So if you're finding yourself in lack, in discord, disharmony, outside of grace and bliss, it's time to look at this center of integrity, this crystalline pillar, this center of integrity, and the truth of it all. And return, claim wholeness for your lineage. Claim the living light to channel through your lineage. Claim the living song to channel through your lineage. You are here to sing your own song. You are here to sing your family's song. You are here to be your family's light. You're here to be the head torch at the front of the trajectory, the train of your family, right? Like beaming the way. So okay. So this really restores a natural order and a natural justice of just a return to everything of everything that you are. And in these returns, if it is showing us what we are lacking, if we are receiving a return of lack, a return of discord, a return of being misunderstood, or whatever, then it just shows us where we need to fill up. We need to fill up with ourselves and make our vibration clear as crystal. Make sure our intention is pure. Purity matters. Purity really matters. And if people are behaving with any kind of hidden intentions of trying to position other people or compete with other people, trying to position other people so that their position feels better, or that they feel more important in themselves, or whatever like that, that will return to you. So just bringing ourselves to have a pure intention and a crystal clear vibration. Let it be clear what we stand for. Let it be clear what we're made of, because all that we can multiply in our lives is a multiplication of what we're made of. There's no stealing. Okay, Eiru, she is powerful, but she is pure. She is powerful, but she is pure. As we are powerful, but we are pure. Our innocence is our power. Our purity is our power. And our innocence and our purity can be trusted. We are to allow this emergence. We are to allow, as I said, the lid is off. The flame is rising within. The primordial power is rising within. That ignition within is rising. We are to trust ourselves to be of this breath. We are to trust ourselves to belong to the Immaculate Mother, to the Immaculate Womb. We are to trust ourselves for this and rely on what you're made of. You are made of this breath. You are made of this breath, which is the breath of grace and inner strength, goodness, purity, innocence, and love, and truth. Truth is your protection. Truth is everything. And we are blessed that we are being brought to a place where we will feel every truth and every deception within ourselves. This is a blessing. No matter if it feels like something we want to avoid, something we'd like to self-deny about ourselves, it's actually a blessing to be returned to a position where you can see the full truth of yourself without shame. Remember, the Immaculate Womb is not absorbing anything. In the shadow womb that we had to live through, everything was covered over in shame and overprotection and shame. These were the poisons of the shadow mother. Overprotection and shame, a hiding of the secrets, a hiding of the hidden intentions, a hiding of the secrets, upholding the family's secrets, upholding the lineage's secrets, upholding the lineage's shadows by hiding them, placating those subconscious compulsions of shadow within the blood, sedating ourselves, quietening ourselves, pushing ourselves down. We are now with this beautiful fire, this beautiful sun rising inside. We are burning through the bloodlines, burning through the shadows of the bloodlines. So those compulsions will leave us and we will be brought back to that one golden impulse of the heart, remembering our Son is in the heart, our Father is in the heart, not outside. There is no Father outside of the womb, there's no Father outside of the body. When I say the body, the body of the Great Mother and the Son within that, our body and the Son in the heart. This is how this constellation works. We are held in song and we are impulsed by the light of the heart. We are held in song. We are held in order and pattern and cohesion by the song of the Great Mother, and we are impulsed by the light of the Father in the heart, the light of the Son. Any avenue, any spell, any religion, and I I don't mean to batter religions whatsoever. I have enjoyed Christian songs. I do still enjoy Christian songs, actually, and prayers. And it was a beautiful source of joy to me as a child, listening to stories of Jesus and all the different miracles of healing and things like that. So I'm not trying to do a number on religion. I just want to point out that anything that carries us into our pathway, where we are offered, where we are promised salvation or damnation, anything where that false balancing of salvation and damnation is a contract upon our breath of innocence. It's a contract upon our consciousness of innocence. And all contracts and all upon the breath of innocence are being exploded out of our body and like dispelled, but with a rising force, a powerful force. Like I said, this crystalline breath with this sun's ignition is incredibly powerful, but incredibly pure. And as are we are incredibly powerful and we are incredibly pure, and we belong to this. This is our breath of life. So in this process where we are reclaiming this as our breath of life, we are dispelling any contract whatsoever, any contract with the duality of, like I said, that spoken word of salvation and damnation that has been spoken into our bodies. That does not just look like religion, that can look like how we behave in relation to other people, how we treat our bodies with nourishment. Do we starve ourselves, and then do we overindulge? Do we over exercise and then suffer with sloth? Like, all the systems of duality that we have upheld that keep us in this juggling act of false balance instead of in this gorgeous, spiraling, powerful, constantly recharging, never ending movement, in constantly in honor to our song, to our body, to our intuition, to our great mother, and constantly, receiving that devotional light of the sun to give us that ignition on every single breath. So that is everything. There's no more to say except we are now preparing our instruments to receive the song. Well, that's a nice way of putting it. The song is making us prepare our instruments. The song is coming nonetheless. The sun is rising nonetheless. So, but we are preparing our instruments, which is just this. And the way to prepare our instruments is to listen to our intuition. Expect to have pure intentions. And if there are hidden intentions, take a look at them. And when they come back to you and you see this reflected back to you, have a look at your own intentions and make sure they are pure and singular and simple and wholesome and whole, bringing our whole system into the one intention, which is truth, the freedom of truth. Remember, freedom can only be felt in flight. You'll never know you're free unless you try to fly. So every tool we need is within. The courage of the heart, the strength of our own, what we are made of, is all we need. And the balancing breath, the truth of breath, which is balance, give and take, up and down, receiving, inviting and receiving. And yeah, we are in a place of multiplication. This is within the womb, within the Immaculate Womb. Okay, when we were in the womb of shadow, of imbalance, where there was an occupier of the womb besides the Great Mother. The Great Mother is the governor of her own womb, of course. And that is known eternally by the song. within the body. So the song is the governor of the womb, the song is the governor of the space, and the song that is singing and holding the womb together is the immaculate intention of the mother, which is all shall remain innocent and whole. We have had an artificial womb, and people sometimes like to use the word womb without the word mother. That's ridiculous. We're not going down that road. We've just come out of it. The womb belongs to the Great Mother, and we all belong to the womb of the Great Mother. But the womb belongs to the Great Mother. And in order to be children of the grace that provides, of the provision that provides, and the belonging that provides, we must come into tune with the song of the womb, which is which is heard in our bodies. So we have to come into tune with the song of the body, the intuition of the body, to truly feel grace within, and to see ourselves as part of the symphony, and just to witness everything. It almost feels like a synchronized dance. It feels like we're within an orchestra all of a sudden, and everything is just this beautiful cooperative component that is weaving, and the heat is taken out of things, the false value is taken out of things, the false fear of something is taken out, the false longing for something is taken out, all these false kind of reaching type feelings, or contracting feelings, or inflating feelings, or deflating feelings. The heat is taken out of them. We just come into this settled, balanced knowing that we are this pillar of truth, and with the breath of grace, which is the breath of the immaculate song of the Great Mother, and the Son's, the Father's ignition, that is our breath. With this breath, we the Father inside her heart. That is very important to specify, because she has had many, many, many false occupiers who call themselves Father. Okay, let's be very clear on that. The receipt of this breath brings us to multiplication. Multiplication is our only way to expand, and is our only way to be here in integrity, and it is the only way to have any authority, is to be in authentic self, and to multiply and expand from there, to be vibrationally felt, and to be invited into others' hearts, to be felt by others. And that is a way of multiplying from heart to heart. If your vibration is felt, you multiply through other people receiving you. But we cannot impose upon anyone. Okay, remember the words Uisneach. We will be gathering in Uisneach. I don't know when, but I know another lady, Deborah, she had something similar come to her, and I'm sure there's many more. And please remember the name Eiru. Eiru. She would like to be invited. Okay, my loves. Please share this if it brings you joy or clarity or expansion. Okay, blessings, everyone.